What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wombo Combo Show. My name is Ben Kepler.
Ben Yukonis, here as always. Not always. Sometimes I sleep through. Anyways,
Yeah.
to start off the show, I want to talk about hockey.
Yeah, give me something.
So over the weekend, Ovechkin scored goal number 896.
895.
895.
Yeah.
He scored 895. He is in sole first place, all-time goal leader. He passed the great one over the weekend. Props to Ovi. As much as I hated him growing up, I have learned to respect him. He's a great hockey player. He's been doing it for 20 years now,
Yeah, something
something like that. So, hats off to Ovi. Hats off to Washington. He's killing it.
Yeah. And shout out to, I think it's the Islanders, the Rangers, whichever team they played. Thanks for letting him score there because he plays us next.
I didn't want that to happen here, to be honest.
Don't want him doing that in Pittsburgh. So shout out whoever let him get that goal. We don't want it. What's up, guys? So getting on kind of the football side of things here, Ben. Something I wanted to talk to you about here today. We have a couple different topics before we get into our mock draft. I'm going to go over my mock draft 1.0 with Ben here today and you guys as well. We'll look for your reactions. Let us know what you guys think of my crazy picks. Something I wanted to talk to you about, though, was the Cincinnati Bengals, the hot news out of Skyline Chili Town. The Cincinnati Bengals, their lease for Paycor Stadium is up in June of 2026.
Yep.
VP this week said, I don't know. I guess we could play anywhere next year. I want to know from you.
It wasn't a very promising answer that they're going to stay in Cincinnati. So,
yeah, no, not at all. Guys, I want to know from you. Let me know in the comments. Where do you think, if the Cincinnati Bengals theoretically were to move, where do you think they would go? What city would be the city that you think that they would end up? Let me know in the comments. I'll look for those. Should be interesting.
I say Canada gets his first NFL team. They put him in Toronto.
I think with the hot water,
it would keep him in the AFC North.
It would. I feel like if I was to pick, it would be either Columbus, Ohio. It would be
Columbus.
Yeah, Columbus, because they already have Ohio State there. St. Louis, San Diego, or just because it's close to the heart here, because I like the Raiders, the Oakland Raiders. They should go take a team back to Oakland.
I say Toronto. Keep them in the AFC North.
Yeah?
Yeah. If they do, in fact, leave Cincinnati. I don't think they're going to leave Cincinnati.
I don't think you would keep them in the AFC North then, because then you would have, they would be so close to the Buffalo Bills in Toronto.
So?
I guess maybe they would switch it up a little bit and we would get Miami.
Why switch it up?
I guess.
It'd still be, anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be crazy.
Well, yeah, why switch? There's no reason to change it.
Yeah, what's up, LG? We're just talking about the news about the Cincinnati Bengals, and then potentially needing to move by 2026. Another thing I wanted to talk about here with you, Ben, was Travis Hunter did do some sort of reps this week. He did show off for some teams.
Mm-hmm.
Want to know something crazy? He only did wide receiver reps.
Really?
Yes, he did wide receiver reps basically only. Now, he didn't really necessarily run routes. He more or less showed his elusiveness. It was pretty much like stutter step turns.
Yeah, so he did drills.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
wide receiver drills or whatever drill you want to call it.
Some cone drills and stuff
like that. Yeah, exactly.
To show your feet work and your
speed
quickness
and stuff like that. Another thing I wanted to mention on it as we get into my mock draft 1.0 here coming up is
an interesting one.
Yes, it is. There is a rumor that this performance has impressed the Cleveland Browns enough that they might switch up to Travis Hunter as the number 2 pick. So that's something to look forward to. I don't know if that would be the smartest move for them or the best for Travis Hunter's career. Guys, let me know what you think about that. But the rumor has it that Cleveland's pretty impressed by Travis Hunter's little performance there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's just Kenny Pickett's not going to be able to get him the ball.
I know, but here's maybe the crazy thing, and maybe the Browns realize this, and us who aren't in the inside of the NFL, we don't realize. Maybe people don't like Shedeur enough that Cleveland believes they'll be able to get him with pick 33 because they are the first pick in the second round.
I don't think Shedeur is going to fall out of the first round.
Nor do I. But as much as we like to say we know everything that's going on in the NFL, there is always something crazy that happens, and maybe that is the thing. Maybe
Yeah.
people really don't like Shedeur, even though you'll find out in my draft that I don't share that opinion. Um,
Yeah, I don't share that. I think Shedeur should be drafted in the top 10.
I think his accuracy alone is good enough. I don't know that he necessarily has the arm power yet. Yeah, he
I
doesn't
mean,
have a
that's
cannon.
never really been a problem for NFL quarter. I mean, look at Drew Brees. He was when he was coming out of college, his arm strength wasn't great,
Yeah, he had a
and now
facilitator's arm.
now he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, one
So
hundred
like,
percent. Absolutely. Jen, what's up, dude? Long time no see, man. Glad to see you in chat here with us today. Ben, let's jump into my draft. It should be pretty fun.
should be fun.
As we all know, it's pretty set in stone. Who's going to be going with the number one pick?
Yes. So
I got the Titans.
obviously, Cam Ward
Hmm.
going to the Titans at number one. Number
Now,
two,
I wanted to mention on this that the Titans did cancel their meeting with Shedeur Sanders,
yeah,
so it
yeah.
is pretty locked
Yeah,
at
there.
this
Yeah,
point.
it's been locked in for a while.
Right.
Like it's just yeah. So and then we agree. Number two, Abdul Carter to the
Hmm.
Browns.
Unless there's what we just talked about.
And yeah, unless they really want to get that quarterback now
Right.
instead of later.
Right.
So which I mean they could easily take Shedeur Sanders at 2 overall.
I think that here, while we're talking about pick 2 and pick 3, I think that these guys are interchangeable, and we can't really put our finger on which one's gonna go where.
Yeah, no, these ones are interchangeable.
Yeah,
They
and
either one could go at 2 or either one could fall to like 4 or 5.
100%. I think that at least in my 1.0 mock draft, guys, as we get up leading to the draft. Yes, Jim, we are talking predictions today. Um, I am going to say that it's still Abdul Carter to the Cleveland Browns, and then number 3 is
Is
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter going to
Yeah,
the Giants.
it's gonna be Travis
I
Hunter.
like that. I like
Mhm.
that. I like that.
Now 4 in your draft, I believe you had Travis Hunter going to the Patriots. Is that right?
I did in my
You
first
did.
mock draft, yes.
I have them taking the best tackle off the board and Will Campbell. I think that that's going to be a good pick for them for Drake May.
Mhm.
He's going to need time in the pocket this year. Now that he's got Stephon Diggs, Pop Douglas, maybe a big year coming up for him as well. Hunter Henry was great already last year for him.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great pick for him. I think it fills a hole that's needed. So I have them taking Will Campbell in the first round. Also, if you
Yeah.
heard,
No, it's a good pick.
yeah, if you heard Mike Vrabel, he talked pretty highly of Campbell as well. So it
Mhm.
kind of sounds like that's the route they're going,
So,
guys.
I mean, and just off of Vrabel's head coaching career down in Tennessee, running game was huge down there with Derrick Henry, and offensive line was huge for
And having a high
blocking.
end left tackle as well.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they had oh, what's his
What's
name?
his name from Bussin' with the Boys?
Yeah.
Mhm. You think of it, I'll move on to the
No,
next
just
pick because
let's
I know
move
it's
on.
gonna
Let's
come
move
to you.
on because I won't remember
Okay. Um,
it.
Next pick, I have Duval Nation. This is the Jags. I have them taking, I think, the same pick as you, unless you had them taking Campbell here.
I had the Jags taking Campbell. You have them taking Mason Graham,
Yes,
which
I have 'em.
I do like this pick for them as
I
well.
think this is the pick for them. If you look at what they already have on the Jaguars defense, they have exterior linemen and
Yes,
linebackers.
yeah,
They
they
have
got edge
good.
rushers.
They have edge rushers, they have pass rushers, but they don't have that solid block in the middle. This is the best available one for that in the draft with Mason Graham. I think he goes number 5.
Yeah.
That's what I think on that one. Number 6, I'm in agreement with you. I think
Yeah,
number
no, it's
6 is
just
set in stone. This is Ashton Genty. I don't think that the Raiders would take Tet McMillan instead, but either way, they're going to
so
go wide receiver or running back here, and I think it's Genty. It'd be stupid for them not to take Genty
yeah,
given.
no, Genty's the higher rated player over Tet for sure.
Absolutely. And then if you look
Like
if you look at how the Raiders have ever operated when they're good, they always have a good workhorse running back.
yes,
And
yep.
I think this is a great fill. You mentioned last week that Mostert would be paired along with him so that
Mhm.
the pass game running back, he would get some time off the field to recover for first and second down for his
For
big
sure.
burst runs. I like this for the Raiders. Let me know what you guys think in the comments on that. A lot of Pete Carroll fans, not necessarily Raiders fans, but Pete Carroll fans
Mhm.
shouted out on yours, and we're mentioning Pete Carroll won't take a running back with the number 1 pick. He doesn't do that. He does like to have an awesome running back, but he'll take it later. Well, he did take Charbonnet in the second round of the last year that he was the head coach for the Seattle Seahawks.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it looks like he's been searching for a great running back to build around an offense that he's going to
yeah.
lead. So that's why I'm still going with Genty.
And why not get the best one in the draft this year?
Absolutely. Probably one of the top 3 athletes in this draft. Moving on to a little bit more of a boring pick.
Mhm.
This one's a little boring,
But a need.
but
A
it is a
need for
need.
sure.
The Jets, I have them taking Armand Membo, and the reason why is because now we have Justin Fields up there.
Yes.
He needs to be able to move around, and
Mhm.
taking the second best tackle, I think, is the best option for them. Terry, what's up, dude? Yeah, just wait, Terry. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. But yeah, I think that's the second tackle off the board. I think that's a big need for the Jets, and I think this is just plug and play for them. Moving on to maybe the spicier of a pick, my Panthers, my newly acquired team that I'm rooting for. I have the Panthers taking Tet,
I see this.
and I think that's a great ad. I
I don't.
do.
I still think the Panthers could, get a better pick there.
What
Either
would you
either
take?
either the corner, Barron, who you have next,
Uh-huh.
or Tyler Warren.
You think a tight end?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I personally, for me, I think what they're missing is the big play wide receiver who's not necessarily the big play in the sense of what Leggett can do, because Leggett is fast. He's a decent route runner, maybe not the best one. But Tet is more of like your DK Metcalf, your deep dive
Yeah,
jump
yeah,
ball
yeah.
guy. They don't
Yeah.
have one of those. Coker is not that. Adam Thielen's older.
Yeah.
He's not that.
No.
This would add that to the roster.
Adam Thielen's never been that.
He hasn't
He's
ever
always
been
been
that.
like a possession type wide receiver.
But this is kinda in the same play as you with the aspect of tight end. Like, I'm getting a bigger offensive body onto the field who can get the ball and
Yeah.
secure it.
Yeah.
So, that's where I'm going
But
with that. I think it'd be a decent add for Bryce Young. I think that adding another weapon for him is something they can look forward to. Last year, they added 2 offensive weapons with their first and second round pick. Second round pick was obviously, a guy who hasn't played more than a couple downs. Sat on my fantasy football bench for the entire year.
Brooks. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jonathan
Jonathan
Brooks.
Brooks, first round pick being
Yeah.
the wide receiver I
Wonder
just
how that's
mentioned.
gonna go this year with him and Hubbard.
I
Like,
don't see him playing. I don't think he'll play at
not
all
a
this year.
lot.
No, I don't think he'll play because he's hurt.
He's hurt again?
Yeah, oh yeah, he
Oh
hurt.
my
He got
goodness.
hurt in the season. Yeah, so I don't think he'll play at all in
Uh,
2025, Jonathan Brooks. So that's why I see Tet as a possible ad for the Panthers at 8, guys. Coming up at 9, this is the Saints. This
Mhm.
is LG's team.
Yep.
I've got them taking the best cornerback off the board.
Mhm.
Now they lost
It's a good
Paulson and
pick.
Debo. They
Yes,
lost
they did.
Marshawn Lattimore.
Yes, they did.
They need a filler, and
Yes, they do.
why not go with the best possible one in the draft? If maybe he's 1A, 1B, because there is another cornerback we'll talk about in a little bit here who's also very good.
Mhm.
But Barron, I have him going to the Saints. I think this is plugged in. If they don't go crazy like you said with a quarterback,
Yeah.
I think cornerback could be the possible position that they fill with the
Yeah.
first round draft pick.
I mean, I could see them going either way,
Mhm.
honestly.
They're
Like,
in rebuild mode.
so, yeah, they're in rebuild mode. Me personally, I still think they're gonna take Jackson Dart with that pick.
I feel you. The reason why I went with Barron,
Dude, Jackson Dart is just rising on draft boards for teams.
I know.
Like, it's just
he really is.
he threw in shorts at the combine and people are falling in love with him now.
The
So,
typical.
I mean,
This is the season
you,
for it, right?
You never know. You never know on a guy. So like,
Terry
it's
says
just-
Brooks is out for the season. Yeah, Terry. And then
Wow.
LG in chat says we need that bad. Yeah. So what my thought process on that was, just real fast, was they're going to pay Derek Carr. They said they're going to pay Derek Carr.
Mhm.
Okay, we're going to live with Derek Carr this year,
Yeah.
and we're just going to build our defense. We sold Lattimore because we knew we were going to get close to
Mhm.
rebuild mode. We cut Taysom Hill, who's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
So let's start rebuilding the defense. This is our new Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Okay. Makes
Mhm.
sense.
Number 10.
It's a good pick. Still.
Yeah, I thought
regardless.
so. Number 10. I think this is going to be a pick that is highly needed for this team. They did bring back Kevin Byard, but I have the Chicago Bears taking the number 1 safety off the board. Malachi
Okay.
Starks.
Another safety.
I like this.
Big play safety.
I
Too.
like this pick. I think that if there's any spots remaining that the Bears haven't paid $1 million to fill that position, because
Right.
that's what they're doing. It's safety. They have Kevin Byard, like I mentioned, but he's old.
Mhm.
Let's face it.
They have the kid from Gateway.
Yeah, Brisker. They also have Brisker. He has concussion problems though,
Yeah.
which kept him off the field
Yeah.
for a good bit of the season last year.
Yeah.
So let's add Malachi Starks. Brisker can still play. He's more. I don't really consider Brisker the best in coverage. I consider him better on a dump down to a tight end, tackling that tight end before he gets to the first down line, or
Yeah.
a run play where he smashes.
He's like Joe Milton-esque. Even though
Mhm.
Milton is technically a corner, but I mean, he's good at that hybrid safety role where he can
Mhm.
come in the
Are you
box and
talking about
Brisker.
yeah, are you talking about Hilton?
How he was.
Yeah, you said Milton.
I said Hilton.
I heard Milton
No,
on
I
accident.
said
I was
Hilton.
like, "Bro,
I'm pretty
Milton,
sure
a
I said Hilton.
quarterback?
No,
I
not
don't know about that, homie."
no, Hilton.
That's a little bit of a weird
Former
comparison.
Steeler and
Mhm.
former Bengal. Now I forget where he's at, but
LG in chat
anyways.
said while we were talking the Saints thing there, he says they only have Kool-Aid McKistry and Alontae Taylor on the roster as cornerbacks right now. So Jahan Barron, that's
Yeah, I
almost
mean,
like penciling,
it
right?
makes sense. It makes sense to do that.
But yeah, we have the Bears taking Malachi Starks here, guys, at number 10. Coming up at number 11 is my second cornerback off the board. This is
Yes,
the
sir.
other one
Yes,
who I
sir.
could compare is 1B or 1A. This is Will Johnson.
Yes. I
I
like
think
Will Johnson a lot.
he's very good. I think he would play better in a 4-3 zone or 3-4 zone blitz defense.
Okay.
I think that's more his style because of the
Don't
way Michigan
don't the
was.
Niners run a Oh, they run a 3-4. But I
The
mean, that doesn't really affect the corners that much.
Niners run 4-3.
Do they?
Steelers run 3-4.
Niners run a
Yeah,
4-3.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's only like two other teams that run 3-4 in the NFL.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
we're one of
right.
the rare
That's
ones who
right.
do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah, I have them taking Will Johnson. Now they obviously let Charvarius. I almost slaughtered that name. Charvarius Ward.
I thought he was a free agent.
He went to the Colts. So now
Yeah.
we need to replace him. This is kind of under the same mantra as I had with the Saints. We're
Okay.
just going to replace our really good cornerback who we just lost
Yeah.
with a first round pick.
Okay.
Most first round pick cornerbacks in the last couple of years have been pretty dang good.
Unless they get drafted by the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, Joey Porter ain't bad. Come on.
He wasn't a first round pick.
Technically, but he was
wasn't a
picked
first-round
32,
pick.
which if there would
Which
have been
it
enough
should have been.
picks,
Yeah, it
yada,
should have
yada,
been a
yada.
first-round pick.
Anyways,
Anywho.
Will Johnson, the first or second Michigan player off the board. Because I had
Yeah.
Graham, I believe it was Mason Graham going number 5. Coming up with the next pick, the 12th pick in the draft, the Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
Right.
I have them adding Luther Burden the third. I have Luther Burden the third going there.
Okay.
He is more of a slot wide receiver. I can see him going in there and doing such. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb gets moved more to the outside. Luther Burden, a burner wide receiver.
He's always been an outside receiver type, anyways.
Every once in a while when Cooper Rush was in, they would put him in the inside because Cooper Rush needed the help to get to the
Yeah.
But yeah, he will be back on the outside. I think that Luther Burden is the pick for the Cowboys. Did want to mention, I didn't get to mention this while we were doing our pregame or pre-draft news here. The Dallas Cowboys did make a trade this week for a guy that we wanted.
Not necessarily a big trade, but it could end up being a big trade.
Absolutely.
They traded for Joe Milton.
And to add on that, Joe Milton picked to go there.
Yes.
So,
son of a bitch.
We had the option.
We were in it. We were in talks.
Option.
We were in talks with the Patriots for him. But at the end of the day, he was like, I want to go be a Cowboy.
True, and you don't expect the Patriots to ever trade the Pittsburgh Steelers anything. Like, come on.
Yeah.
There's too much 2000s rivalry there. But yeah, Dallas Cowboys.
Especially with Vrabel being the head coach now.
Exactly. I was going to add to that. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, 12 Cowboys, Luther Burden. That's the pick for me. Next one I have, this is based off of news that we just got this week. Teron Armstead.
Yep.
Left tackle for the Dolphins. They traded for him from the Saints.
Yep.
He's retiring.
Hanging him up.
I think it's after 11 seasons. I could be wrong. Could be 9, somewhere in there. It's been a while. But he is retiring, and I have them replacing him. This is where Josh Simmons goes. This is the third tackle off the board in the draft. Josh Simmons, Ohio State. I have him going with the 13th pick to replace him, Armstead, that is, on the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
I think that's a decent pick. I don't really necessarily see them taking a wide receiver or any of the linebackers who are available there. They're already paying a lot of money to their linebacker room in Bradley Chubb and the rookie who they're going to have to sign this year.
Yeah.
Number 15. Name escapes me. You like him. What's his name? Number 15 on the Dolphins. He's a linebacker. He's really good. We'll come back to it.
Phillips.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
More of an edge rusher.
But yeah, linebacker edge rusher. Yeah. And they have Jordan Brooks this year too, who they paid a substantial amount of money to off of the Seahawks in the last free agency.
Yeah.
So I don't see them going linebacker, which is where the best available players are outside of Tyler Warren at this point in time.
Yeah. And before we move on, Tyreek Hill on his TikTok has some interesting hints that he might be moving on from the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, go check out Cheetah Bo Hill's TikTok. Look at his
So-
second TikTok on there and tell us what you guys think about that.
this, I mean, I like the Josh Simmons pick here, but if they move Tyreek Hill, expect them to do something different.
I can see that. I can see that. It's a good,
Or maybe they trade Tyreek Hill and get another first round pick.
go back to back.
Yeah.
Get number 15 pick from the Colts. No, or 14 pick from the Colts. No, I'm kidding. Colts, you're up next. To all my Colts fans out there,
Yeah.
your wishes come true. Tyler Warren is coming to the shoe.
I like the pick. I
Doesn't
don't
have to change uniform. Same colors.
Right? Literally, pretty much, yeah. Just a lighter shade of blue
Yeah.
in Indianapolis. But I don't think he's gonna make it to the Colts.
You think he's a higher end?
I don't think he's gonna make it to the Colts. I think he's gonna go 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, or 9. You think
7, 8, or
you think Panthers are the highest chance, or do you think the Jets are the highest?
I think the Jets are the highest chance.
Okay. We'll see coming up. We will see coming up. LG says I like Will Johnson better, but both are pretty good. He's talking about the cornerback situation in the Saints, and I have him taking Barron. So you like Johnson better? I think was Johnson the one who got hurt?
Will Johnson did get hurt.
So
He
we
didn't
really get to
play a
see
lot.
A lot of
his
senior
senior-
tape out of him.
Yeah,
huh?
no.
Okay.
Most of it's from his junior year, but he had a great junior year. Obviously, they won the national title and everything. So
Mm-hmm. Now, with my next pick, you had this guy going at 14. I have him going at 15.
yes,
This is the Falcons. I
Mhm.
have them taking Jaheed Campbell,
okay.
linebacker,
Yeah,
edge, more linebacker. These listed
he's
as
a he's a
linebacker.
middle linebacker.
He's a middle
Yeah,
linebacker.
he's a middle linebacker.
We'll see if maybe that's a transition thing, but probably not. A lot of these Georgia, Alabama guys, when they get to the NFL, the linebackers.
This guy is a middle linebacker.
Is he a middle?
Yeah, he's a middle linebacker.
Okay.
He's a green dot guy, someone who can lead your defense. He's a middle linebacker.
And who needs that more than anyone?
Probably the Falcons.
Yeah, because I mean, dude, Nathan Landman was their guy last year.
Yeah.
You loved him. He got a couple interception return for touchdowns for you, didn't he?
No, that was Anderson. Something
Anderson.
And he got hurt.
And he gets hurt a lot.
He got hurt like the game after he had that interception for a touchdown and played maybe 2 or 3 more games.
Okay, so there we go. We need we need our interior linebacker. This is the guy. This fills the hole. This is coming out of Alabama. This is prestige. So we're filling it for the Falcons there with Campbell.
No, smart pick. I like that pick. I like Jaheed Campbell a lot.
Now, next one, I'm going to agree with you again. It's rare that you and I agree this much, Ben. So somewhere, if someone takes history of the Wombo Combo Show, write down this date, 4/8/2025, because this doesn't happen often. With the 16th pick, down in the desert, I have the Ohio State wide receivers meeting back up again, just like you did. Marvin Harrison Jr. will be accompanied by Emeka Egbuka with the 16th pick.
I think that's going to be a great pick for the Cardinals.
Me too. I
think
it's
a really good one for them.
So my thought is this with the Cardinals, and I kind of said this a little bit during your mock draft, is I think that the Cardinals are in a time period where they have to really put things around Kyler Murray and say, hey, are you him, or do we sell you while you're still young? Like, do we sell your contract while you're still young enough to be worth something?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I say just put one more piece around him, see if they can put it all together. Which, I mean, they're close. I think they're close.
100%. When DeAndre Hopkins was there, Kyler Murray balled out.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, if you get Marvin Harrison Jr. a little more open with Emeka Egbuka being there, wow, his name is fun to say fast. But I think that'll open up the offense more. You got Trey McBride down there as well, highest paid tight end in the NFL.
They gave him a pretty penny.
So I think that putting all these pieces around him is the right thing to do. Trey Benson, running back from the second round last year, is also coming too. He's going to be playing more this season. So I like that pick for the Cardinals with taking Emeka.
It's a good
Egbuka.
backfield with him and James Conner.
Absolutely.
Really, I like that backfield a lot.
Absolutely. Now, the next team, the Cincinnati Bengals, who may be moving in 2026 to a new city. Who knows? Real quick, you know what they think is going to happen? There's potential of? The Bears can't get money to buy a stadium. The Bengals can't get money to buy a stadium.
The Bears are building a new stadium.
No, they don't have the money. They can't get the money.
I swear they already started.
They don't have it. They have the plans, but they don't have the money finalized in the background. So you know what they're thinking? The Bengals move to Chicago, and they share a stadium. Let us know in the comments what you think about
We
that.
don't need a third city that shares 2 teams.
I feel it, but that's what people have
Like
been talking about. Number 17, though, with the Bengals, I have them taking Mike Green, the simplest name in the draft. Mike Green, we've talked about him a couple times here, Ben. The guy, every time he
Mhm.
comes on and does any type of combine work or any type of show you my skills work,
Yeah.
he crushes it.
Mhm.
And he's out of Marshall, which is a smaller school in the Sun Belt. Obviously, they don't get as much coverage on TV, so you don't get to see them as much. But I like Mike Green. I think that if they do plan on trading Hendrickson, Mike Green could be a replacement. That's kind of what my mentality was behind that. We'll see what goes on with Trey Hendrickson coming up. But for now, Mike Green goes to the team that might not be in the
Yeah.
same city.
That's a good pick. I think the Bengals are gonna go either edge rusher or interior D-line with that pick anyways. So,
Definitely defense. It's not going
yeah,
to be
they're
offense.
gonna
I
go
promise you that.
yeah, there's no way. If they go offense with this pick, other than offensive line, if
Right.
they I can see them doing offensive line because they need to get Joe Burrow some help
Yeah,
with pass
100%.
protection.
Especially after cutting Alex Kappa. No,
Yeah.
100%.
So, it's either O-line or D-line.
Absolutely. Next pick. You may have taken this too. I don't remember what your pick
I
was.
did this. I did Matthew Golden
Did you?
to the Seahawks
So I had the
in
Seahawks
my
getting their
first
third
mock
wide
draft.
receiver. I think that was a smart idea. Since I now know that you took that, I couldn't remember. I thought you did, but I
Yeah,
wasn't sure.
we have a few
A
here.
few that are the
A
same.
few here similar.
But yeah, I have Matthew Golden being the third wide receiver off the board. I have him going to
Mhm.
the Seahawks.
Yep.
I think that you can't start Jake Bobo. We mentioned that
Yeah,
last
no,
week.
you can't start Jake Bobo.
Jake Bobo is
Like-
not. He's basically a tight end, bro.
Yeah.
There's no way he can be playing as your outside wide receiver on the opposite side of JSN, or if JSN has to move to the outside. You realize that, right?
Yeah, because Cooper Kupp's not playing on the
Yeah,
outside.
absolutely not. So get another guy in there. That guy, Matthew Golden, played in the Texas offense. I think he'll be ready for that role. I really like that pick, to be completely honest, Ben. That was a good pick by you, since you're telling me that you took that too. Next, Tampa Bay,
hmm
the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
The Crew's up, and the Crew are taking probably my favorite edge rusher in this draft. He is. To
Yeah.
be completely honest, I know I talked Mike Green up a lot, but my favorite guy is James Pierce Jr.
yeah, he's a good one.
He is good.
He's going to be a good one.
He's an athlete. He's a freak athlete.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's going to be a good one.
You watch his tape, and he gives you that, like, that scary human vibe, kind of like Harrison
Yeah.
Debo for
Mhm.
the Steelers. You know what I mean? It just looks like, dang, I would not want that guy on my blind side hit me when I don't
Yeah.
know he's coming.
So,
Like, it
I mean,
would hurt.
he's second behind Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter's just out of this world.
Yeah.
But
There is no putting.
yeah,
James
James
my
Pierce
favorite.
Jr. He's good.
Yeah,
gonna
he is
be-
really
He's still
good.
going to be good. Like,
Next pick now. A lot of those wide receivers are off the board, which is why I don't have this team taking a wide receiver with this
Yeah.
pick.
Mhm.
But I do think this is where they're going to go, because I mentioned in our 32 for 32 series, if you haven't checked that out, make sure you go to our profile, check that out. We got one for every single team, all of our predictions for
Mhm.
this upcoming draft, and a little bit of the free agency that already happened. We got some of it right. Some of it we were a little crazy about, but make sure to check those out. But I have the Broncos taking Amarion Hampton.
Yeah.
Second best running back in the draft,
Yep.
potentially. He is very good.
Yes.
It could be one of those late round guys like an RJ Harvey,
Mhm.
who could be the next best thing that we just don't know about. You know, we don't know that is a first round talent guy, but
Yeah.
as per the moment, what we've seen, Marion Hampton
Amar-
is probably the
Amari-
second best running back
Yeah.
in this draft.
Omarion Hampton, he's a late first, second round guy.
Early second round
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
So, like,
absolutely.
I mean, this is where this is like as high as he would go is here, or like in my mock draft, I have the Cowboys taking him.
Yeah, you
So
do.
high.
You
top
have 'em
15.
extra high. Absolutely.
But with this, I like this pick for the Broncos a lot, actually. Get him this nice, solid running back. They really don't have one. They got Audrey Estime.
They got Estime.
They like Estime there. They still
Yeah.
got McLaughlin,
but neither of those
but
are.
they're not like,
They're not knock your socks off running backs, guys. Those aren't like your guys that you're expecting at least one, maybe two 20+ yard rushes a
Yeah.
game.
So,
That's not.
and this isn't the Mike Shanahan days where he can turn every running back into an 1,000-yard rusher.
No.
Like, so.
No, I think Amarion. I think it's the right move, to be honest. And if it isn't him in this round, you're going to see the Broncos take a running back in the first 3 rounds, and they're also going to take a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds, guaranteed.
They're gonna get Bo Nix help
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Absolutely. They love him and they want to start off at a young age. Well, he's not really young. He's the oldest rookie quarterback last year. He was 25. But they want to start him off early in his career with the most amount of talent that they can put around him. So, Amarion Hampton, number 20 to the Denver Broncos, guys.
So this is like the last year where like quarterbacks are going to be like 24, 25 years old because the COVID rules are going to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was so annoying. Like just quarterbacks staying in college football for 10 years. Like, dude, if you're not good, you're not going to make it.
Yeah,
But
true.
except for Bo Nix. Bo Nix made it. But
Tyler Show coming out of this draft, I believe, is one of the big names when it comes to COVID
yeah.
quarterbacks who's been around for a
So, I
while.
mean, dude, even Jaden Daniels was in college for like 5 years.
Right. Right, he was.
So
I think he threw the passes to man, I can't remember who it was. There was someone he threw passes to who's been in the NFL for multiple years now. But anyways,
yeah.
I want to get on to this next pick because this
Yes.
next pick is the spiciest pick of my
This
draft,
is
guys.
a spicy, spicy pick.
This is the spiciest one. This is my team. So this is just a crap dream. I don't even think that's the right word for it, but this is highly improbable. I have Shedeur Sanders going to the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 21.
That's
He falls the whole way
wild.
through.
That's wild.
The whole way through. No
yeah.
teams trade up. Nothing happens. Now it's hard for us in these
Yeah, we're
mock
not
drafts.
with these mocks. We're not doing trades or whatever. We're just
Right.
we're doing where they're slotted, what they're picking, and that's
Absolutely.
it.
Now, do I think that maybe Cleveland or another team who is QB needy could trade up ahead of the Steelers in this draft to take Shedeur Sanders before 21? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Absolutely. Especially if the Cleveland Browns take Travis Hunter, I could see them absolutely trading all their picks away and being Cleveland Browns to somehow get in front of the Steelers to take Shedeur Sanders. But in a non-trade, unrealistic world, Shedeur Sanders, black and gold, baby. Second quarterback from the Colorado Buffaloes.
If this were to happen, I would actually like it.
Me
if
too.
he fell this
Me
far,
too.
but he's not. I don't think he's going to fall this far. If anything, he falls no further than 9 to the Saints.
Okay. We shall see. Let me ask you this question. If Shedeur Sanders comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ben, do you think he is better or worse than Cordell Stewart?
Better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For sure? Because Cordell is actually pretty good.
I know. Yeah. Dude, if Cordell Stewart was drafted 10 years later, he would have been fire.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know if you remember this. Cordell was actually in the Pro Bowl and had like the second farthest throw.
Yeah, he had a cannon.
Yeah,
he had an absolute
like
cannon on
74 yards or something like that.
He was in the wrong era of football.
Okay, how about this? How about this before you go on with, because this is on the topic. Danger Dave is in the chat here today.
What up, Dave?
He is saying he could see the Steelers trading up to 9 to take Shedeur Sanders.
No, I don't think they're gonna do that. Not this year.
I've never seen the Steelers when they trade up in the draft. They only trade up like 3 picks.
Yeah. Then in the last time they did trade up that far to 10, we all know that pick. But
yeah, we traded
Devin
up. We
Bush,
traded up more recently than that, though. We traded up.
I'm saying like for a big jump like that. We traded up from the low 20s.
You
to the
realize who
10.
the other trade up was, because this guy isn't doing very good either. It's
Yeah.
our left tackle.
Yeah, Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
But that was still like we did last year. We trade up a couple spots to get the tackle from Washington. I can't ever pronounce his name.
Foyanu.
Yeah. Foyanu, whatever.
Yeah.
Trade
Who's
up
gonna
to
play
get
this
him.
year?
And then we traded up, I think, like 3 or 4 spots to get Broderick Jones, who, granted, he has yet to play left tackle.
Right, he doesn't play his
They
position.
play him at right tackle. Play him at left tackle. Play the other guy at right tackle, and he's going to be fine. Because that's where he played. He played right tackle. He was the blind spot for Penix Jr. because he's a left-handed quarterback. So play them at their positions and see how they do.
Oh, Terry says, I missed a couple of these. I apologize, guys. Terry says it was Ayuk that Daniels threw to. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. At Arizona State.
Yeah.
Danger Dave was laughing about that and saying, wow. Terry says he also thinks the QBs are going to stay in college longer now because of NILs. And I believe I'm with him on this. They'll stay in college to their senior year because they're making 5.
They still only have 5 years of eligibility now. Unlike the COVID years where you could get more
True.
years, it's still only 5.
But what he's saying is you won't have that many juniors.
Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, that's yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's over with. They're
Yeah,
going to stay
but
for
you
all
won't
4
see guys
years.
who are coming into the draft being 25 years old. Like,
Right.
that's what I'm getting at.
Right.
Like,
Another one in here, the Danger Dave says, he says that the Steelers are going without having a QB if they don't do that trade up or take Shedeur with that pick. Now, there's a chance that we could take Jackson Dart because I don't have him going in the first round at all.
yeah.
Personally, I just
To me,
don't think that that's
to
what he
me,
is.
that's more realistic at 21 for the
It
Steelers.
is. It absolutely is. But yeah, 21 guys. I have Shedeur Sanders as my wild pick of the draft. Coming up at the 22nd pick, I think this is pretty set in stone. This is an easy pick. This is his college coach drafting him. This is Loveland, tight
Yep.
end.
Yeah.
He's going to the
I think
Chargers.
this is a lock.
This is a lock. They don't
Like-
have a tight end. I think they might have Gerald Everett on the roster, but he's way past his prime.
They got Will Disley.
They have Will Disley. They let Stone. Is it Stone Smart? Is that his first name? Stone Smart was the other tight end. They let him go.
And Parham,
Yes, Parham's a
who
Steeler.
we signed.
So
Steelers signed.
I think Loveland's a pretty good pick. Put him with Justin Herbert. Let him have a dump down guy or a guy across the middle who can catch the ball and take a hit. I like that pick for them.
Yes, sir.
Coming up for the Green Bay Packers, I have Mykel Williams falling all the way to 23. Yes, that is far. Yes,
Yeah.
I think he's the 10th best prospect in this entire draft.
So
But not every team in the draft needs an edge. The
Yeah, no.
league's kind of saturated with edge rushers at this exact moment. There's a lot of good edge rushers out there.
right.
So
I mean,
I think a team who doesn't have good edge rushers
there's-
is going to take them. That's
Where could I see him going? I could see him. I mean, this guy could go anywhere. Really,
could
in the
go-
first
he
round.
could go-
outside of the top like 6.
see the problem
This
is
guy can go anywhere in the first round.
100%.
Like-
The problem is that the teams that are 3 through 9 have such bad offenses
yeah, yeah.
that they have to go offense before they
Yeah.
can get defenses.
Yep.
But that is why Mykel Williams falls this far. I do like him. I do think he'll prosper up there. I think he's going to be great for the Green Bay Packers if they so choose to take him and he falls to this position.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I agree. I agree. I
100%.
think this would be a great pick for the Packers. if
He's
he
a
falls this
Georgia
far.
product. Now,
So
have you caught on to something that there's been a lot of Michigan players that I've been taking in the first round?
Mhm.
We just had our third one a moment ago. We just talked about Loveland,
I also had 4 going in the first round.
right? I think it's the same 4 because next
Mhm.
on my
Same
draft,
4.
Kenneth Grant.
Yeah.
He's going off.
Yep.
Now, I had someone tell me that they don't think that Kenneth Grant, sorry. They think that Kenneth Grant is the second best defensive interior lineman in this draft. I do not think that. I do not think that at all. I actually kind of think that Walter Nolan is hidden as the second best, but he's going to fall later in my draft here. He didn't even make it onto your 32.
No,
Walter
not
Nolan.
in my first mock draft. No.
But yeah, so I have Kenneth Graham going to the Vikings. Now, they did get Jonathan Allen in the offseason. I understand that, but I'm going to add more to the depth of this interior defensive line. So we're going to add Kenneth Grant. Now, the person I just mentioned, Jonathan, is like a 31-year-old. So he's not going to be around much longer. So let's pass on his knowledge to Kenneth Grant. That's why I have him going with this pick. Next, I had a lot of tackles going in this first round.
Mhm.
And here's another one. This is Banks Jr.
Yep. We had this same.
You have this one as well?
Yep.
I have him staying in the same state as the college he went to. Texas tackle Kelvin Banks Jr. I have him going to the Houston Texans with the 25th pick. Yeah, 25th pick in the draft. I like that for CJ Stroud. Just continue to allow him to have more time to throw the football.
Yep. Well, I mean, plus they got rid of 2 guys on their offensive line this offseason.
Right.
So.
Now, they did replace them in some effects. They got Cam Robinson and they added Trent Brown. But at the same time, Trent Brown is old, and they could use some younger bodies in there. And plus,
for sure.
depth never hurt. So that's why we're adding him there. If there was, I will say, if there was one of the top 3 available wide receivers who fell to this position, the Houston Texans will go wide receiver.
You think so?
Yes, because they don't have a wide receiver too, really. Tank Dell's out.
Yeah, no, they really don't.
Tank Dell's done.
It's really just Nico Collins.
It's just Nico. They've got Xavier Hutchinson if he's still on the roster.
Yeah, he's still on the roster.
They have John Mechie III.
He's also still on the roster.
And that's it. So that's
Yeah.
why I think if a wide receiver is available, it'll go to the Houston Texans. So,
Okay.
but I don't think there's one that's left at this point in time who they would take. The best one on the board would be Mayo Manor out of Stanford. I don't see them taking him that high.
Yeah,
So
he's not a first round
no,
talent.
he's not a first round talent. So that's why I have them just going with the best available player for a position of need, and that's Kelvin Banks Jr. Now, coming up, here's the second linebacker from the Georgia Bulldogs coming off the board. This is going to the Rams. I think the Rams want to build on defense. I think that's
Mhm.
going to be the mantra this offseason.
Yeah, they
Build
got
on
D-line.
defense.
They got D-line and
hmm
Fisker and Verse.
Now let's put a linebacker right behind
Yeah,
him.
put a good linebacker behind him.
You know what I'm saying? Jalen Walker is my pick for the Rams. I have him sitting behind that fresh defensive line that he just talked about that was drafted last year. I think he'll be a great addition to the team. Offense kind of already looks like it's put together. Tutu Atwell is going to be the slot wide receiver. They're going to have
Mhm.
Puka Nakua, and then you're going to have Devontae Adams.
Yes.
What else do you need? You got Kyron Williams running the ball,
Yeah.
and Tyler Higbee is, I'm pretty sure, still on contract. And if not, you have that kid that they drafted last year who filled in for him, who
And
did pretty dang.
yeah, Higbee's a good tight end
Mhm.
too. So,
Absolutely.
when healthy.
Isn't that who? Did I say Higbee?
I was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. When he's healthy, yeah, when his knee's not getting blown out. But yeah, that's my pick for the Rams, guys. Jalen Walker going with a 26 pick, coming up at 27. You didn't put this guy on your list either because you didn't want to have to say his name. But I said, you know what? I'll try it. I'll do it. I'm not scared. I say everybody's name wrong already. Why not, guys? With the 27th pick, I have Donovan Iziriuka. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm not trying to slaughter your name. I'm from Pittsburgh and I can't read.
Is there Ruku?
But he's the edge out of
I
Boston
don't know.
College. I think that he's pretty decent. I just because of who he is and his weird name, there's just something in my not weird name, but a name that I'm not normal. It's not normal for me.
Yes.
Normal spelling. But I could just see him being a Raven, and us having to hear his name all the time, and just
Right.
because I don't know how to say it now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to hear thought of him has
Yes.
sacked.
Pair him up with Matabuke.
Yeah, I just have a feeling that that's going to be in our future. I have him going at the 27th pick to the Ravens,
No,
guys.
it's nice. I still like that pick. I mean, dude, there's just so many edge rushers that
Exactly.
can go in the first round this year.
That it
Like,
doesn't sound bad if your team takes one.
no,
You know
it
what I
doesn't.
mean?
Like, it's
The only
just,
team that doesn't need an edge rusher in any way, shape, or form is the freaking Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't need any more edge rushers. We have enough edge rushers.
yeah, we got 3 good ones.
We have 3 good ones. But I digress. Moving on to my next picks. Edge is just going flying off the board here. This is kind of how your draft went as well. You had the Lions taking an edge rusher as well. You had James Pierce Jr.
Falling.
I have them taking Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, that's more realistic for the Lions.
Right.
I think that's the guy who's going to be there for them. But
Shamar's
good
good.
pick. Good pick.
I
Good
like
pick for
Shamar
sure.
Stewart. I think he's going to fill in well on that defense. Opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. Coming up with my 29th pick, I have Commanders taking the guy that we just mentioned a moment ago.
Yeah,
that was
Walter Nolan.
Walter Nolan.
Yeah.
Out of Ole Miss.
That's a nice interior D lineman pick for the Commanders for
They
sure.
have to replace interior defensive lineman that they lost. Deron Payne's getting up there. He's not necessarily the oldest, but he also hasn't been producing the best of best. The best game that he had, Deron Payne, was when they put him on the outside. He's the one who shut down Saquon Barkley in that Commanders win over the Eagles.
Okay. What just happened?
I don't
to
know.
your
We don't have
laptop?
chat up at this second. I apologize,
know.
guys. The computer just crashed. Ben, can you get that up for me while I finish up a little bit of this draft here? Coming up at 30, Ben, I had the Buffalo Bills taking Nick Scruton. That's the other Texas A&M player who's coded high in this draft. He's an edge rusher as well on the opposite side of Stewart. I have the Bills taking him. Having him set up on the opposite side of Greg Rousseau, I think would be an awesome pairing. I think that this is something that they need to look at. They are just like the Texans, though, guys. If a top wide receiver somehow falls the whole way down there, I can see the Buffalo Bills also taking a wide receiver if it is available for them. If one of those 3 that I already mentioned is out there, I could see them taking him in this, or that wide receiver in this draft. But I have them taking Nick Scruton for the moment.
Yep.
Now, next pick.
So.
This is 31 I'm on. This is the Chiefs. The Kansas City can't win 3 Super Bowls in a row, Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I have them taking Gray's Apple. That's the South Dakota or North Dakota State tackle.
Yeah.
I have him going there. I think it's a great pick for them to continue to build that offensive line, like you mentioned with your mock draft. that the Kansas City Chiefs had a huge problem protecting Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and they need to continue to add to that line. Now, they traded away Thuney. Already, he's a guard. I understand that.
Yeah.
But we kind of mentioned these
And
North Dakota.
they franchise tag Smith.
And
the
they
other
franchise
guard.
tag Smith. He's a guard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, bring in another tackle in who's a multi-versatile lineman now. He's played snaps across the line.
Yeah.
So they can plug and play him at any point in time across the line. I like that pick for the Chiefs. It is, I believe, the fifth tackle that I have coming off the board. Might be the fourth, but a fourth or fifth tackle coming off the board in the first round. Edge rusher, tackle, both deep in this draft, guys. Coming up with my last pick in the draft. This is the very last one. It's the Philadelphia Super Bowl winning Eagles. I have them taking the very first guard in the draft. They're taking Tyler Booker out of Alabama.
Okay.
Now, they need to replace the guy that they just brought in from last season off the Jets. They transferred him from right tackle to right guard.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember his name right now for some
I
reason.
can't remember his name.
Yeah. Why is it escaping me? You know who I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking
Chat,
about.
let me know. You're so helpful in that effect. But they need to replace him. He's now on the
Becton.
Chargers. Yes, Mekhi Becton. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Danger Dave.
Absolutely. I have Tyler Booker going there to replace Mekhi Becton. Immediate plug and play. If Tate Ratledge was a little bit better, I could see them going for him just because he goes to Georgia. Nothing else. It has nothing to do with if he's better than him. It's just because he went to Georgia, and the Philadelphia Eagles draft the entire Georgia Bulldog team.
Love drafting that team.
Yeah, they love it. They love it. But that's what I have for this draft, guys. Let me know in the comments. What was my craziest one? Is there one that you really didn't like? Ben doesn't necessarily love my Tet McMillan landing spot. I can understand why. But let me know what you guys think. Is there a crazy one out there? It's just like, Ben, no, dude, that ain't it, Kep. That ain't it. Let me know in the comments.
I mean, obviously, the Tet one is kind of meh for me. I think Tyler Warren's the best pass catcher in this draft.
Best pass catcher? Okay,
yeah,
I could agree.
From tight end, wide receiver perspective. And then your Shedeur Sanders mock to the Steelers is.
You just think it's ridiculous?
I think that's crazy. I think that's absolutely crazy. I don't think the Steelers have a chance in hell for him to fall that far.
If they do, I'm praying to the football gods. I'm hoping we can pull it off somehow. Shedeur Sanders to the Pittsburgh Steelers 21 would be awesome. At least it would let us stop talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers needing to fill the quarterback position for 4 months until he's 5-3.
I think we're going to be talking about this for a while, and Mason Rudolph is going to be the starting quarterback week 1.
Oh, man. Well, hey, the computer shut down. Is there anything in chat that we want to shout out before the end of the... Yeah. Well, guys, at that, we are going to stay up here and chat along with you. If you are watching on TikTok or if you're here in that YouTube chat, make sure you stick around. This is the part of the episode where we do Q&A and talk with you guys about the episode. But if you are watching this recorded, we appreciate you for watching. Make sure you make sure you leave us a comment and let us know what you think. Make sure you share that along. Smash that follow and subscribe button. Help us grow our community. We want you to be a part of it for all of our future content. Make sure you check out that content. And until the next one, peace out.
Peace.